And Kit, I got this chart made for you. Now, basically, this is the difference between financial conditions, which are in white, creeping up a little bit, and consumer confidence. The red line was the Brexit vote. How will it play out in the next 6 months? Theresa May has a plan. Everyone's on board, but then there are amendments. The bill has to go through. What happens next?
I think there's still a lot of sort of chopping around of the the underlying sense is we haven't had Brexit. People are negative on, or the economics community is negative on what the impact will be for growth, has been surprised by how well things have held up, is kind of sitting and waiting. And at some point, either people will end up concluding that, wow, surprise, surprise, this isn't really doing much damage, or you'll get the weaker economic data coming through. Hard not to believe that we will get the weaker data coming through as real incomes continue to be squeezed.
But does it change, so Theresa May's stance? If we have weak economic data, are we still on the same path, or actually does it change the thinking or the clauses attached to any Brexit negotiations?
I don't think it changes much. I mean, I think, if I've heard Brexit means Brexit enough times to get the sense that we're going to get to Article 50, then we're going to start negotiating. How they negotiate becomes the critical piece, but that there's still this sense that the negotiations are, it's a two-sided thing, that eventually both sides will negotiate what's in the best mutual interest after facing off at each other quite aggressively at first. A softish Brexit might be in both interests in X years down the road, but between now and then we've just got a lot of water to get under the bridge.
Is the glow of the UK economy over from June 23rd or the morning of June 24th? Are we through the part of the J curve, if you will, that's been a good UK economy and now it gets tough?
It feels that way. It feels to me as if you look at companies reporting, for example, first thing you got was companies saying, hey, look, my profits in sterling are looking pretty good, and then the stock market was doing well and so on. Now they're coming through saying my import costs are pretty brutal, and we're going to have to raise the price of X, Y, Z. It feels as if people are, we're beginning to realize that their real incomes are under some pressure. They're beginning to realize that their disposable income's a bit weaker, and we're not getting much more sort of follow through in terms of job creation and optimism coming from here. Realization coming soon that there are probably higher taxes and more fiscal, more spending restraint ahead. So it feels to me as if even if the economy doesn't fall off the edge of a cliff, it's just, I don't know where the next bit of good news is supposed to come from.